middle-sized schools in Oklahoma going head-to-head, and we've had a couple of technical difficulties. Got started late, or actually early. We're on late, but we're so glad to have you with us. We are top of the first inning, a couple of base runners already for the East team as Hunter Stockton led off with a single, and then Jack Wilkins, a little bouncer back to the pitcher, and the pitcher, Weston Rouse, had a hard time getting the ball out of his glove, and he was safe at first base. So our situation now, the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to the third batter of the inning, Jax Ryan, as the Middle East trying to jump out early in this 7-inning All-Star contest. Popped up high on the infield. Looks like the second baseman, Kyle Miller, will call for it and make the catch. There's the first out of the inning. And Zach Friesen joins me. You've been here all day long. What a great day for baseball in Enid.
Absolutely. Weather's been great. Very little wind. We had a little bit of a rain shower move in during the first game, but all in all, the weather any rain has stayed away. So it's been a perfect day of baseball.
Well, this has been a long week of baseball here in Enid with the NJCAA Division II World Series wrapping up yesterday. And then this is just kind of the cherry on the top of the sundae, so to speak. Here comes Colin Ritchie to the plate, and we'll get a chance to set that lineup for you as we go here. Colin Ritchie with a runner on first, a runner on second, and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. And on the mound for the West squad is Alex Conover. Give some information about Alex really quick. He is from Tuttle, state champions in Class 4A this year. He can get up to 91 on the gun when he's got it humping. Got that fastball humping. The count is 1-1 to Colin Ritchie. We'll keep an eye on that. They do have a speed gun here in the ballpark, and that's always fun to watch, especially during an all-star game. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Just misses outside, 76 in the gun. The count is 2-1. So Hunter Stockton's on second, Jack Wilkins on first, and Colin Ritchie at the plate with Weston Rouse in the on-deck circle. So glad to have you with us on Squirtle, and also the sports animal online. 2-1 pitch, fouled back. The count evens 2-2. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you really quick for the West. Joseph Victory's in left. Kel Whitwiska in center. Ashton Benight is in right field. Tucker Morris at third base. Camden Bates at second. Kyle Miller, take it back, Camden Bates at short. Kyle Miller at second. Cooper Smith at first. And Kane Springer is behind the plate. A 2-2 count with 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Swing and a miss. Big out right there. The strikeout, the first of the ball game for Conover, and 2 down.
That's a good pitch there, coming in from Conover. He's got a couple runners on base, but he's been looking pretty good. One of those runners, not very hard contact. The first one, a pretty solid base hit, but all in all, he's looked pretty good so far.
One thing that we will tell you, this being an all-star game, rules are fluid when it comes to hitters. We're going to see DHs. We're going to see pitchers bat. We're going to see more than 9 hitters batting in the ball game, and this is a pitcher, Weston Rouse, batting from the right-left side. He bounces one to the shortstop. Could get him out of the inning. The force at second. And the fielder's choice, 6-4. No runs, a hit, an error, and 1 left on base. After half an inning, no score. We're back with you at David Allen Ballpark at the OBCA All-Star Games on Squirtle.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you 1 check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business. And remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
What would you do if you only had one life to live? Well, that's kind of how this whole thing works. So bite off more than you can chew. Don't wait for someone else's green light. Go after what they say you can't. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Get skilled, get paid. Oklahoma Career Tech.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off. Bottom of the first inning for the Middle West, and Preston Mayen will lead off, stands in from the right side. Preston Mayen went to Crossings Christian. First pitch found back and out of play. And the count is 0-1. On the mound is Weston Rouse. And I'll tell you what, I'm really interested to watch him today. He's from Fort Gibson, is going to OSU, and had as many as a dozen major league scouts at his games this year. So he is a kid who's on the radar screen, and he's a big kid. Looks like he can get it up there.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good build for a pitcher, and especially coming from the left side of the plate. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares here.
If you can pitch and you're a lefty, you can make some money.
That is a fact.
Count is 1-2 to Preston Mayen, who's the extra hitter. As we said, there will be players that play in the field and players that don't. I would imagine he'll be in the field at some point, but he's going to drill one to the gap and left after the 363 sign, and a stand-up double for Preston Mayen. And if you're just joining us, we got started a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. Middle East got their first two batters on, their first two runners on, but then a pop out to second to strike out, and a fielder's choice got the West out of the top of the first inning. But now Cooper Smith will step in. He's the first baseman. Cooper Smith from Marlowe. He's playing first base today, but he's a pretty darn good pitcher. Threw a perfect game at Medill back in March, and he's going to play his home games right here. He's going to NOC Enid. Count is 1-0 and with Camden Bates in the on-deck circle. 1-0 pitch. Bouncer to the shortstop. Jax Ryan can't come up with it. Everybody's safe. One thing about baseball all-star games in particular, you're still in season. And it's very much an individual sport. I like baseball all-star games because players can show out, because you don't necessarily have to, be a part of a team, so to speak. You are, but you can play your game.
Absolutely. And especially for these players who are going to be moving on to college ball. They're still in good shape. They're still staying on top of things, so they're still able to perform very well in these games.
Stolen base for Cooper Smith. So now the West has runners in scoring position. That first pitch to Bates with the ball, the count's 1-0. Camden Bates from Washington. That pitch just misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. Defensive set behind Weston Rouse. Colin Ritchie's in left, Gannon Sherrill in center, and Jack Wilkins in right. Pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. Third baseman is Hunter Stockton, Jax Ryan at short, Adam Earnhardt at second, Cy Collins at first, and Aiden O'Malley behind the plate. It's a cornucopia of colors out there with the different schools' uniforms. 2-2-2-1 pitch with a base hit to left. Nope, it's going to end up in the glove of the shortstop. I thought it had a lot more on it coming off the bat than it did as it died, and Jax Ryan makes the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, you weren't the only one on that one. I thought off the bat that one was going to drop in for a base hit, but definitely a deceiving one there.
So there's the first out of the inning, and here is Ashton Benight. He's the right fielder. He's from Tuttle. Those kids from Tuttle had quite a run. They went 37-4, won the state championship. And Benight's on his way to Cali College up in Kansas, right across the border. Great junior college program at the D1 level. Now, where the D2 World Series is here in Enid, the D1 World Series is in Grand Junction, and Cali's always making that field and going out to Grand Junction for that event. 0-1 pitch. They've won it multiple times as well. Count is 1-1 now to Benight. Yeah, Rouse on the mound, the left-hander from Fort Gibson. They went 25-9 this year, lost to Tuttle in the 4A quarterfinals. A lot of talent. You can pretty much say this in every all-star game. A lot of talent on the field in this one.
Absolutely. They both sides provided us with lineups before the game, obviously, but they were kind enough to list off some of the players who are going to be going and playing at the next level here. I think there's, as far as on the west side, I think there's only one player who's not going to play college ball at the next level. So definitely a lot of talent on these rosters.
1-2 pitch. Took something off of that one, a swing and a miss. There's 2 outs. The strikeout is the first of the ball game for Rouse.
And that's a good job of pitching by Rouse. We mentioned that the last line drive that was hit by Bates. It looked a little harder than it was, but then getting a strikeout there, that's a good job of keeping those runners there at second and third and not allowing a run. Now he's down 2 away.
Kane Springer at the plate. Springer from Washington. They picked up the state championship in Class 3A this year, beat Cassia Hall in the final. He's on his way to Murray State. That is a team that has won the national championship in this ballpark, Murray State. They play at the D2 level. Count is 1-1 to Springer. There's a high fly ball to center field, and Gannon Sherrill, Cam Sundrup makes the catch. That will take care of the West in the bottom of the first inning. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 left on base. We've played 1 with no score, and you're watching the All-State games on Skortle.
Are you looking for a local, reliable propane provider? Earnhardt Oil and Propane has been serving customers throughout Oklahoma since 1971. Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? They also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just a local VOTEC, we are Autry Technology Center.
Is your spouse's snoring becoming an issue? Have you been told that you need a sleep study but refuse to go into a sleep lab? Then NextGen Sleep is here to help with our innovative solution for the evaluation, testing, and treatment of sleep apnea. NextGen is proud to offer this FDA-approved, convenient, and affordable solution that can be done all from the comfort of your own home. Call today to get started. 405-308-3324 or email us at information@nextgensleep.com.
Carter Freeland will lead off for the Middle East squad here in the top of the second inning. No score. Both the teams had runners on base but could not bring any of them across. It's Carter Freeland, Gannon Sherrill, and Cy Collins for the East in one of the great rivalries in sports history, East versus West. That's always a big one, no matter where you are, especially in Oklahoma with I-35 pretty much the dividing line.
Oh, yes. Have that nice defining marker to keep things separated.
Carter Freeland from Ada. They lost to Bridge Creek in the district tournament, Class 4A, and Carter's on his way to play at the next level. He's going to Texas to play at Wharton County Community College down in Texas. And he's ahead in the count, 2-1. We didn't really have a chance to tell you much about Alex Conover, so we'll get a chance to do that. From Tuttle, state champions. They beat Blanchard in the championship game, 4-3. His parents have a military background. He thinks that's where, that's really worked well for him, becoming a top-flight baseball player. The discipline, 2-2 pitch. Bouncer to the shortstop. One hopper, nice play. Got it between the hops. Tremendous play by Camden Bates for the first out, 1 down.
Man, like you said, that was a That was a nifty little play by Bates out there. That one was a tough one to read. Those line drives that are right at you, those can be kind of tough to read. He did a good job of picking that short hop and making the play look easy.
Okay, they announced that Cy Collins is up, and I've got Gannon Sherrill. And this will be the first time that this won't be the last time this happens in this ball game. See, they've got that's Cy Collins. So we will go ahead and talk about Cy once again. It's a fluid roster. Cy Collins steps in from the right side, takes the 1-1 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch for a ball. The count is 1-1. Cy Collins from Pryor. And he's not going to go too far from home as he strikes out. He'll play ball at the next level at Coffeyville Community College. He'll be a Red Raven up in Kansas. And he strikes out. And let's see here. This should be Aiden O'Malley, the catcher who he didn't have a number for, so I'm going to assume it's Aiden. I think it is because he was wearing the catcher's gear and he had the light top on with the light blue top. That's who's up there right now. He fouls it back and out of play, and the count's 0-1. Well, we'll be looking for Gannon Sherrill because it looks like they might have skipped him in the order. Count is 0-1 to O'Malley in the top of the second inning. Foul tipped into the mitt, the count 0-2. Tom Nelson, Zach Friesen with you on game number 3. Zach and Todd Miller had the first 2. Long day of baseball, but the thing is these games have moved along pretty quickly.
Yes, they have. They've even with plenty of innings that had plenty of scoring chances, plenty of runs across the board, they've kept it moving at a pretty brisk pace. So
one thing about an all-star game like this, your pitchers can tend to have a little bit of an advantage.
Yes, absolutely. And they've done a good job. There's been a couple exceptions, just a couple at-bats and a couple frames here and there, but for the most part, they've done a good job of challenging hitters and making them put the ball in play.
Looks like Lane Bledsoe's in the on-deck circle. He's listed as the DH, but I think there's 3 DHs. Call him the DH, call him the EH. They're going to get their plate appearances. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. No score in time called. They had the JUCO World Series here. They had rain issues. I say they, basically we, because I was here all week long and doing the PA, and we were glad to get this thing done yesterday. Got that last championship game in. Congratulations to Heartland Community College from Iowa, Norma, Illinois, for winning their first ever D2 national championship. Count goes full to Aiden O'Malley. O'Malley from Victory Christian is Coach Randy Whistler there. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice slider. And that'll take care of the East in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And after an inning and a half, still no score. We'll take a break. You're watching the All-State Games on Scortal.
Why be a ranger? At Northwestern, with small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career-driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt-free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
Electricity, that's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments. We are proud to be part of your community. Thank you for being part of Cimarron for all of these years.
We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Davidon Ballpark, the middle-sized schools all-star game, the Middle East and the Middle West here at the OBCA All-State Weekend. And Kyle Miller will lead off for the West. Kyle Miller playing second base from Lone Grove. Coach Tyler Pybus, excuse me, my mistake. And the first pitch of ball, the count 1-0. And like we talked about that last half inning, the pitchers have had a bit of an advantage here as we are scoreless going into the bottom of the second inning. Although both teams had base runners on early but could not bring them across in the first two innings. Found back and out of play, and the count.
Yeah, like you mentioned, both pitchers looked like it took them a couple batters to settle in, but once they did, they really started pumping it in there, and they've really started putting them away.
Kyle Miller is going to UCO, so he'll go to Edmond to continue his studies. Count is even 2-2. Kyle Miller, Cash Barrett, and Tucker Morris will bat against Weston Rouse. Rouse in that first inning struck out a batter, gave up a double. And he'll probably go a couple of innings here, 2 or 3. They've got 3 pitchers to use as Kyle Miller strikes out. And that is strikeout number 2 for Weston Rouse. Here's Cash Barrett. Cash Barrett from Sulphur. Mike Matlack is his coach. And he's going to East Central. He'll go to Ada to play his college ball. Bouncer to the shortstop. Played by Ryan, throws to first in time. 6-3 if you're scoring along with us at home. And if you're scoring along with us at home, oh, get a life. Here's Tucker Morris, the third baseman. Tucker Morris from Lindsay, coached by Dan Edwards. His squad went 25-12 this year, Class 3A, lost to Perry in the regional tournament, and takes a strike. Now, I would imagine you have figured this out. These are all seniors, just graduated seniors, going on to the next level. Most of them will play baseball, but there are some other guys that are going to play other sports as well. That always seems to happen. And it looks to me we've had a pretty good turnout. I know sometimes we have kids that are playing at the D1 level and might forego this event, but a lot of the players are here. There's a long drive to right field and a double. As that ball got up in the jet string, and Jack Wilkins couldn't track it down.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times today throughout the first 2 games. Balls to right field have kind of seems like the wind looks like it's kind of picked up since the start of the game, but just looks like right fielders have had a little bit of trouble out there judging fly balls out there.
Here's Cal Whitwiska. He's playing center field. He is from Bethany, and he came on my radar screen on the football field last fall. But Whiska is going to play his baseball right here in Davidon Ballpark at NOC Enid. I'll have a chance to watch him play quite a bit because I get a chance to see quite a few of those games. Of course, NOC Enid won the NJCAA Division II World Series in 2019. Probably the greatest moment in this ballpark's history. A bouncer back to the pitcher. Rouse will throw to first in time, and that will take care of the West in the bottom of the second. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. 2 complete, no score. Back after this, you're watching the All-State Games on Squirtle.
car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
First BG10 Flow Fest featuring recording artist Kylie Morgan, Jay Allen, and special guest Kim Allen. Saturday, June 24th at Rustic Rose Barn. Tickets on sale now at ticketstore.com. BG10 Flow Fest 2023 with Kylie Morgan and Jay Allen. Concert benefits Cashian's own the BG10 Legend Foundation.
A pride of Bristow High School, Lane Bledsoe, will lead off here at the top of the third inning of a scoreless ball game in our middle-sized school all-star game. We had the large schools this morning. East beat the West 6-3. Other way around, West beat the East 6-3. And then the second game, well, I can't screw it up. They tied, so I can't screw up the decision on that one. Swing and a miss. The count is 1-1. Tom Nelson, Zach Friesen, glad to be with you. Bottom of the order, Lane Bledsoe, Adam Earnhardt, and Riley Matheson. 1-1 count, swing and a miss, 1-2. Well, so glad to be with you on the Squirtle Network, but also so glad to be with you on the WWLS Sports Animal platform. That's something you're going to be seeing more of the Squirtle family on Sports Animal, which is very cool. They've been doing it very well for a long, long time. The count is 2-2 to Lane Bledsoe. Alex Conover back out there for his third inning of work, most likely his last inning of work. Conover has given up just the one hit, and he has struck out 3. And now the count goes full 3-2. Lane Bledsoe. Bledsoe, he's going to play at Texas Tech. He's going Big 12. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the catcher. This would mean a free pass to first base for him, and Bledsoe will be at first. So it's a strikeout, the third of the ball game for Conover. But no out recorded, and Bledsoe is down at first. And here is Adam Earnhardt, second baseman from Oolaga. Cody Pear, the head coach over there. Pretty good year, 25-13 his senior year. They lost to Elk City in the 4A quarterfinals. Got to the state tournament. First pitch, the ball. The count's 1-0. Pitch in there for a strike. The count 1-1. 79 degrees, picture perfect weather for baseball. We thought we might have some rain, but it has stayed away. I think we're going to get it in. Light shower early this afternoon, but you can play through that. The lightning was the big key. We had the delays all week long for the JUCO World Series.
Yeah, that's one good thing about them putting the turf in here a little while back is that even with a little bit of rain, they can shrug that off pretty easily.
It's been about 10 years that they put that turf in. It's the best thing they ever did. And it was controversial because this ballpark, very much an old school ballpark as it was envisioned, and putting turf in here, they had to think about it long and hard, but it's been a great decision. And the compromise they made was not putting turf in the outfield. So there is still some grass for Scott Pendleton to take care of here. So,
and as the viewers can see, he's done a great job with it. You can barely even tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, exactly right. The count now 2-2. And I'll tell you what, they had to work overtime because this field took a lot of rain. I want to say there were, 4 to 5 inches of rain in the Enid area over the past 4 or 5 days. And they played through it. They around the raindrops and got those games in. So the count is 2-2 to Adam Earnhardt with Riley Matheson to bat next. There's the pitch from Conover. Low and in, we go full. 86 in the gun. The ballpark, 328 down the left field line, 363 to the power alley in left, 390 to center field, 369 to the power alley in right. The short porch in right field down the corner, just 300 feet. And we saw a home run here yesterday. One of the longest home runs I've ever seen. Swing and a miss as Adam Earnhardt strikes out. And 2 strikeouts in the inning, but just the 1 out. 4 strikeouts in the contest for Conover. Here's Riley Matheson. Matheson from Cushing. Home run yesterday. Left-handed hitter over the left side of the scoreboard, just to the left of the O in the OBCA logo. It cleared the scoreboard just over the corner.
Wow.
It was a rocket.
I've played summer ball games here. It's been a little while, but I've played summer ball games here. I have never seen a ball go out of there.
Yeah, that was a rocket. I have seen, I think it was the JUCO World Series probably 10 years ago. We saw a home run to left that almost hit the embankment out there on the railroad tracks beyond left field. That thing was just a missile.
Now, I have seen one of those. Unfortunately, it was not my team hitting it.
So Riley Matheson ahead of the count 2-0. I've got to go back and look at the NJCAA TV. I want to see exactly what kind of shot they got of that home run, because I was doing PA over there and just like, I thought it was going to be a deep fly ball to center field because nothing ever gets hit out there. And it just kept rising and kept going. You just don't see many home runs hit out that way. There's a base hit to left. That's going to score our first run of the ball game. And that missed strikeout opportunity comes back to haunt the West as Matheson singles and drives in a run. If you're just joining us, Lane Bledsoe struck out, but the ball got past the catcher all the way to the screen. And we go back to the top of the order. Here's Hunter Stockton.
And not only the drop third strike coming back to bite him, but also a pass ball and a wild pitch. Just those are the only reasons he's at third base.
You're exactly right. Good call. Here's Hunter Stockton. We didn't get a chance to talk about him because we weren't quite on yet. Hunter Stockton singled to lead off the ball game. And Stockton, from Cassia Hall. Dean Wilson is head coach. Breaking pitch in there for a strike, and the count is quickly 0-2. Hunter Stockton has some bad memories of this ballpark. They lost in the area tournament to Crooked Oak right here. So ended their season at 20 wins and 10 losses. Cassia Hall. Count is 1-2. And you talk about the fact that you have played here. I've not played here. I'm old and wouldn't have played here back in high school. I wasn't good enough anyway. But talk about what it's like to play in this ballpark.
The first time you play, if you have never played here before, it definitely gets your blood flowing a little bit. Seeing the grandstand, having the Jumbotron out there, you can definitely tell it feels like another.
Not looking.
But, and back when I played, they didn't even have the turf here yet. But everything played very true. It was, as you can all tell, it's a very well-kept ballpark. It's tip-top shape all the way around. So it's always a fun trip whenever you can come up here and play.
Well, something you don't see very much. We could see it as Jack Wilkins steps in, as Alex Conover is looking to get 4 strikeouts in an inning. And, of course, he is tempered by the fact he gave up the run, but something you don't see very much is that first pitch is bounced foul. The count's 0-1. Jack Wilkins, the right fielder from Salina. Matt Simmons is head coach. They made it to the state tournament in Class 3A, lost to Washington, went on to win the state championship. They lost in the semifinals to Washington. Counts 0-2. Jack's Ryan in the on-deck circle. The East have scored 1 here. Lane Bledsoe led off the inning by striking out, but the pass ball got him to first, and he was able to work his way around to third and then score on the base hit by Riley Matheson. And there you have 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. Hey, you never know what you're going to see at the ballpark. A run on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The East leads the West 1-0. You're watching it on Squirtle at the All-State Games.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
When you're
Bottom third of the order coming up for the West in the bottom of the third inning. Joseph Victory, the left fielder, steps in. He's from Chickasha. Kevin James is coach. Pretty good comedian as well. Sprayed foul at a play. The count is 0-1. Victory, spelled not victory, but Victery. Counts 0-1. His team went 30-8 this year. Lost to Mount St. Mary in the 4A regional tournament. He's ahead in the count 2-1. I believe James Folsom will be next. We'll make sure. Yes, it is James. I think we're having an issue with the glove. Equipment issue for the catcher, Aiden O'Malley. I'm gonna bet he does. It's the helmet. It's the helmet, not the mitt. Once again, that might be an issue because I probably didn't bring extra helmets.
I'm wondering if it's he might not. It might not be an Well, I'm wondering if it might be his thumb. Because I see another player gearing up in the dugout. Hate to speculate, but it looked like he might be having his hand looked at.
He was smiling, like I don't think he's too worried about it, but we might get that new catcher. And that would be Riley Matheson. Two catchers on the roster, Aiden and then Riley from Cushing. So we'll just go into a pause here for just a moment, just after 7 o'clock. So glad to have you with us on Squirtle. And it is the summer of Squirtle. All kinds of events going on. Of course, we had the basketball all-state games yesterday. And now the new catcher, Riley Matheson, will go out to the mound to talk to Weston Rouse. They want to be on the same page. Because I don't think Riley was expecting to catch Weston.
No, he was when O'Malley started walking towards the dugout, they had Riley had a batting helmet on because I think he was due up. I think he actually just got done hitting.
Yeah.
But he had a helmet on, just waiting for his next at bat. But definitely wasn't quite expecting to be pulled into action this quick.
The Victory, a 2-1 count. Steps in against Weston Rouse. And now the count goes to 3-1. Weston Rouse has gone 2+ innings, given up 1 hit. Struck out 3, given up a run as well. Take it back, has not given up a run. There's a strike, and the count now full 3-2. Here's the full count pitch. The rock in the fire. Oh, nice pitch. Caught the edge. Breaking across the plate.
We've seen Rouse go to that breaking ball in the outside corner a couple times now. Just a great pitch. He's definitely feeling it there whenever he can spot that up multiple times in the first couple innings.
That's his fourth strikeout. James Folsom will step in. And the first pitch, a bouncer to the shortstop. Nearly collision, the throw made. Jax Ryan, 6-3 on the putout. Go back and tell you that James Folsom from Newcastle, Mike Crossley is coach. And let's see, are we going back to the top of the order? No, we've got Alex Conover batting right here. The pitcher. So Conover will bat. He's pitched the first 3 innings. Might be the last time we see him. They might keep him in the order to bat later on. He's most likely done on the mound, though. Doubt we'll see him back out there to start the 4th inning, not in this format. 0-1 pitch. Off the glove of the catcher. Count evens at 1 apiece. Kind of a partly cloudy evening now here. You see in the shadows a little bit. Moving across the field. 1-1 pitch. Down the left field line and foul. And the count goes to 1-2. Third game of 3 today. In the big schools, the West beat the East 6-3. The West and East tied at 3 in the small school game right before this one. A 1-0 lead for the East in the bottom of the third of this one. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, just misses. That's close. 2-2.
You can tell Rouse really wanted that one. He thought he was heading back to the dugout there.
He's looking for strikeout number 5. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. And Weston Rouse, pretty darn impressive. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left in the bottom of the third inning. We've played 3 complete. East 1, West nothing. And you're watching it on the All-State Games on Scortle.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
This is game time.
Got a new pitcher in there for the West. It is Jackson Lee. He's from Lone Grove. Coach Colbreth?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice to have you on board.
Thank
Tom
you.
Nelson, as we go to the top of the 4th inning, joined by Washington head coach Jeff Colbreth, and we'll have him here in this inning. Kind of snuck up on me a little bit right there, but we can make it work. Not a problem. We're into the top of the 4th inning. New pitcher is Jackson Lee. He's from Lone Grove. He threw a perfect game against Newcastle a couple months ago, 11 strikeouts in the 6-inning perfect game, and he's on his way to Connors State. And the lineup he will face here in the top of the 4th inning, Jax Ryan, Colin Ritchie, and then Weston Rouse. And, Coach, first of all, this is a nice celebration for you after a great season you had ended a couple of weeks ago.
Well, thank you very much. It's it's great to be a part of this organization and then get to come watch a couple of your players play is a special night.
You can kind of sit back, enjoy the weekend, let somebody else coach them.
Yes, sir, for sure.
I'll tell you what, we'll ask you just to comment a little bit as you see what goes on here. You'd be the color commentator for an innings here, or a half inning or so. And as Jax Ryan steps in from the right side, he popped out to the second baseman back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. And the first pitch to him from Jackson Lee is a ball to count 1-0.
Well, we played against Lone Grove, but Jackson usually caught, so we haven't seen him throw.
The one thing about it, these kids, even the pitchers, are hitting in this game. They want to get their swings as well.
Most of them are really good hitters as well.
Count is 1-1. The rock in the fire. Swing and a miss. That pitch fouled off. I wanted to ask you really quickly, because during your season this year, there were severe weather right down in your area. And I know that the school was used as a disaster site. The tornado hit the small town pretty close to you guys. Did you have any kids going to school up there that are in the town that might have been displaced by that?
A couple of our junior high kids lost their homes, and then just families that we knew about that weren't on the team. The one of them that came through came right over the top of our catcher's house, and our shortstop, who's playing today, lives across the street from him there in Goldsby. And so a little spooky night.
Well, my daughter's a freshman at OU, and I was making sure she was not doing something stupid. There's a pop fly to short right field and called off. The right fielder makes the play. That is the night out there for the first out of the inning, 1 down. So 1 out. Here's Colin Ritchie, the left fielder. Colin Ritchie from Atoka stands in from the left side. He's on his way to Oklahoma State University. And I tell you what is I think that just a testament to the baseball played in the state is how many of these kids are going on to play ball at the next level.
Some really talented players. I've had the fortunate to.
He just shot one deep to right field. He hammered it on the roof down there. Foul.
Fortunate enough to come up and see the last few years the Oklahoma State games, and which is kind of a futures game, and a lot of these young men have played in that the Oklahoma State games up in here hosted by Enid, and then obviously they're getting to finish it off in the All-State game for the Oklahoma Baseball Coach Association.
0-2 pitch. There's a base hit to left center. They'll drop beyond the shortstop. So a 1-out single for Colin Ritchie. He's 1 for 2. He struck out back in the first inning. Go talk about your season a little bit. State champions and a great run, beat Cassia Hall in the final, 3A state champs.
Well, we were fortunate enough to win it in 2021, and I had a huge nucleus coming back. I lost basically 2 seniors, and when we walked in, I coached football as well, and we had an incredible run there as well. And when I walked in January, I looked at our seniors, and we started talking about upcoming, and they were not satisfied with they didn't want it to be a fluke year in 21, and they wanted to go prove that we belong back. And so when it's player led, it makes things a lot easier on my end.
Weston Rouse batting from the left side. He's 0 for 1. He hit into a fielder's choice 6-4 back in the first inning. Yeah, there is a commitment to excellence at Washington that many schools don't have.
Well, we're fortunate that our kids aren't afraid to compete, nor are they afraid to go to work. And we have an indoor facility that there are people there all the time, work. And so you got to hand it to the kids sometimes. There's a lot of times that we don't have to demand. They're up there getting after it on their own. And that's what it's about.
And we talk about kids going to the next level, and Camden Bates going to Tennessee, Southeastern Conference. That's pretty big stuff. Pitch is low. The runner heads towards second base. Stolen base, runner in scoring position now with 1 out.
Kane not real happy with himself right there, but he probably blamed that on me.
Count is 1-2 to Rouse.
Yeah, Cam having the opportunity to go to Tennessee and play in the SEC, just what a great deal for him and just for our program.
1-2 pitch, bouncer to the second baseman. High hop. Miller to first in time, moves the runner over to third. So Richie at third base, 90 feet away. 2 down in the inning. And here is Carter Freeland. Take it back. It's going to be Gannon Sherrill. That's where we had Carter up there, but he's not batting. So Gannon Sherrill's up there, the center fielder. Hit to the bounced out to the shortstop back in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Didn't get a chance to talk about him the first time around because we missed him in the lineup. But I will tell you, he's from Fort Gibson. He's going to play at Eastern Oklahoma State University. And 25-9 this season. Fort Gibson lost to Tuttle in the 4A quarterfinals, got to the state tournament. And the count is 1-0 to him.
Talk about an East Side program that has great runs.
1-0 pitch to the second baseman. Played by Miller. Throws to first. In time. Got him. And that will take care of the East in the top of the fourth inning.
What a nice play to finish the inning right there for the West.
You betcha. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Coach, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You bet.
You guys do a great job.
We appreciate that. We'll take a break and be right back. 1-0, the East over the West, and you're watching the All-State games on Squirtle.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
For more than a century, you have made St. Mary's your healthcare choice. It might be our dedication, compassion, and skill, or the personalized patient experience. Perhaps it is our award-winning, high-quality care. Whatever your reason, you trust St. Mary's will offer advanced technology and comprehensive care close to home. Learn more about our services at stmarysregional.com.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
The High Plains Insurance
Mayan,
Agency.
yes. Mayan, yeah. CCA. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 1-0, the East over the West in the middle All-Star game. The All-State game, let's be precise. Tom Nelson, Zach Friesen with you for the call, and we'd like to once again thank Jeff Colbert, the head coach for Washington, spending the last half hour with us, or half inning with us. It was a quick inning. That's one thing, we're getting good pitching. These innings aren't going a half hour, most definitely.
Yes, the pitchers so far have done a great job. They've been on top of things, that's for sure.
Here's Preston Mayan. He doubled back in the bottom of the first inning to lead off the ball game for the West team. And he's from Crossings Christian. 19-11 the record for Crossings this year. 3A team lost to Metro Christian in the regional tournament. And he's down in the count 0-2.
We've seen a lot of that so far in the first couple games. Guys aren't hesitating to take some big hacks out there.
So the count is 0-2 to Mayan. New pitcher, Lane Bledsoe, is in there to start the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll give you the particulars on him. Bledsoe from Bristow on his way to Texas Tech. 1-2 pitch, way outside. And the count even at 2-2. Lane Bledsoe, a left-hander. And that's just the one thing you notice. We talked about it earlier in the ball game. If you're talented and you're left-handed, you can get that scholarship to the Big 12.
Especially if you can pump it in at 90 like that one
Boom.
was. My goodness.
Struck him out, 1 down in the inning. And Cooper Smith at the plate got on by way of an error in the first inning. Had a stolen base. Cooper Smith from Marlowe on his way to NOC Enid. And that pitch in there for a strike. And the count quickly 0-1. Let's see here if we can close the book on the starting pitchers. Weston Rouse went 3 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 4, didn't walk anybody. Alex Conover went 3 innings, gave up a hit, gave up a run, struck out 5, didn't walk anybody. And the count is 2-1 now to Cooper Smith. This game is going 7 innings, and it will go 7 innings. They won't play extras, and they will play the bottom of the inning if the East would happen to be leading. Or actually, no, if the West would happen to be leading into the bottom of the inning, we'll still play the bottom of the 7th, giving the kids their at bat. There's your first walk of the ball game. So Bledsoe issues the first free pass. Here's Camden Bates. Bates lined out to the shortstop, his first time out from Washington. We talked about him last inning with his coach on his way to Tennessee. Going to be a volunteer. And I'm sorry, you see these kids from these, now these are middle-sized schools, but you could call them smaller schools compared to the 6A and 5A schools. And to see
absolutely.
the talent level at these smaller schools playing Texas Tech, OSU, Tennessee, that's big-time stuff.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, compared to the 5A, 6A schools and compared to some of the schools that are going to be producing other players that go in those recruiting classes, they're going to be among the smaller schools. So it's definitely it's always encouraging to see those these guys make those moves to those major universities.
That move almost picked off Cooper Smith over at first base. Lane Bledsoe on the mound, the second pitcher for the East. Swing and a miss. Threw it by Camden Bates. And you've got to figure Camden Bates has seen some heat in his career. Consider probably the level he plays at, especially in summer ball. 0-2 pitch. 1-2. And that's another thing to consider. I'm sure most of these players are playing somewhere else all summer long. They've got to break away from their teams to come play in this game.
Oh, yes. I'd venture a guess to say most of, if not all, these guys are playing some form of competitive summer league. And, definitely going to be interesting to take a slight break from that for a day or two.
And it tells you how much their baseball coaches mean to them when they say, yep, I'll come play in this game. And we've talked about that. Almost all of them showed up today. One, two, the count to Camden Bates. Ashton Benight in the on-deck circle. Foul backing out of play. Will stay 1-2. Preston Mahan led off the inning by striking out. Then Cooper Smith walked. So that's the situation we are in right now with Bates at the plate with a runner at first. The West trailing 1-0. East scored their 1 run in the top of the 3rd inning. Inside, he hit him. Or did it?
Yeah, I think he's just leaving his gear.
I got it, yep. So a couple of base runners here now with 1 out. And Ashton Benight to the plate. Struck out back in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1. Benight from Tuttle. Going to Cali College up in Kansas. And before he left high school to go to college, he brought a state championship to Tuttle. I got to imagine that the players that get to play in this ball game that just won the state championship got a little bit, might be glowing a little bit in the dugouts.
Might be walking with their heads held a little bit higher than the others, huh?
Exactly. Count is 0-1. Kane Springer in the on-deck circle. Still just 1 out, so the West is threatening here, high and inside. Count evens at 1 apiece. Tom Nelson, Zach Friesen, and the Squirtle crew with you from David Allen Ballpark in Enid. Game 3 of 3 today. The OBCA All-State Games. Big versus big, small versus small, and medium size versus medium size. That'll move the runners up 90 feet. So now the tying run 90 feet away, the go-ahead run in scoring position. And the count 2-1 to Ashton Benight, Benight.
We saw pass ball, wild pitch, come back to bite the West a couple innings ago. Now they have a chance to capitalize on one of their own now with two in scoring position and less than 2 outs.
Exactly right. Lane Bledsoe in a bit of a jam here. 2-1 pitch. Bouncer foul, even 2-2. This ballpark, Dave Allen Ballpark, will celebrate its 25th anniversary next year. They played some games here late in the summer of 1999. It really opened up in the 2020 or 2000 Y2K. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Man, pulled the string on him. Big out right there, the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a great pitch there. He's been that slider has been a little hit or miss. Some of them kind of got away from him a little bit, but yeah, whenever he's able to spin it, that one looks really good.
Here's Kane Springer. Flied out to center field back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. He would love to get a base hit right here. Springer now, he's from Washington, on his way to Murray State, another state champion. Counts 1-0 to Springer.
And that was a nice job by Matheson behind the plate to keep that one in front of him. That could have been trouble.
One-0 delivery. Low and in, and once again blocked by the catcher Matheson. Keeping that tying run 90 feet away. That is the goal for the East right now. Here's the 2-0. And that gets away from the catcher, and there comes your tying run, and the other run will move from second to third. So we are tied at 1 as Cooper Smith comes in from third on the wild pitch. Bates to third, excuse me. And as the East scored helped by the wild pitches in the third inning, the West gets a run helped by the same thing here at the bottom of the fourth. 3-0 pitch, and they'll take for the strike 3-1. The third pitcher we'll see for each of these teams. For the Middle East, it's Carson Kelly, and then Cooper Church will pitch for the West a little later on. There's a ball 4, got runners at the corners now. So Bledsoe's second walk that he has given up.
And yet again, 4 of the 5 pitches in that at bat all went into the turf. Wonder if he might be grouping the ball a little too tightly here. Might be a little antsy here with the go-ahead run at third base.
There's Kyle Miller, struck out looking back in the second. He's 0 for 1. And we have a runner, courtesy runner. From Elk City. Where's the other card at? That's Cooper Church. He's going to run. So Cooper Church from Elk City, who we'll see a little later on the mound. He's at first base right now. Running for the catcher. So we do allow courtesy runners in this game, which I guess we would because it is a high school rule. There's a throw to second base. Here comes the runner, but they get the tag applied at second base to end the inning. So in the bottom of the fourth inning for the West, they score a run on no hits, a couple of walks, a hit batter, and a couple of wild pitches, no errors, and 1 left on base. We played 4 complete, tied at 1. You're watching the OBCA All-State Games on Squirtle.
High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business. And remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
What would you do if you only had one life to live? Well, that's kind of how this whole thing works. So bite off more than you can chew. Don't wait for someone else's green light. Go after what they say you can't. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Get skilled, get paid. Oklahoma Career Tech.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Back with you. We've played for complete. The East and the West tied at 1 here. 1 run, 4 hits and no errors for the East. 1 run, 3 hits and no errors for the West. Cy Collins will lead off for the East squad here in the top of the 5th inning. Facing Jackson Lee, beginning his 2nd inning of work. And that curveball in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Cy Collins struck out back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Cy Collins from Pryor. Going to Coffeyville, swinging a miss, and he's down in the count 0-2. S-I, that's how he spells Cy, which is not necessarily, usually it's C-Y, but slider fouled off at the plate, and the count 1-2. Take it back, it's 0-2. I thought it was 1-2. No, it must be 0-2 because the umpire is not correcting the scoreboard operator. 0-2 pitch. There's a liner to the second baseman. Up into the air to make the catch is Kyle Miller.
That one looked like it might just float a little bit over his head. Looked like it just kept going up and up, but thankfully he was able to keep it in front of him. But at first it looked pretty routine, but it looked like it might just sneak over.
Okay, now this is our new catcher. Is this Carter Freeland, maybe?
It looks like this is Carson Kelly because
Kelly.
He's hitting for O'Malley, who had to leave the game earlier.
Okay, so this is Carson Kelly, who we didn't have in here. This is his first plate appearance.
Yes.
Carson Kelly from Cassia Hall. Dean Wilson is coach over there. Count is 1-1. And the count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, we were curious about how they would fill that lineup when O'Malley had to leave the game, but it looks like they're just going to bring in Kelly. We'll see if they let the other pitchers take a hack at it next at bat. But
strikes him out. 2 outs in the inning. And for Jackson Lee, that's his first strikeout. Here's Lane Bledsoe. Bledsoe struck out, but then got down to first base in the pass ball. Came around to score the 1 run back in the 3rd inning for the East squad. Takes that pitch high, ball 1.
There's just one thing over my shoulders, chipping and chirping, going, Kansas City barbecue is better than Buffalo.
And the 1-0 delivery. Count now 2-0. Lane Bledsoe, we talked about it. He's on his way to Texas Tech.
You want
2-1 the count.
nice pitch there on the outside corner, pumping it at 88.
I want to make sure here. Is this Lane Bledsoe or is this a different number? Yep, it is. Okay, it is. Yep. 2-2 pitch. Once again, just trying to make sure the housekeeping is right here.
Absolutely.
So the count goes full to Bledsoe. The pitch. Popped it up. Fouled back and out of play. Might be hitting on the roof up here. We are in the top of the 5th inning, going 7. No more, no less. If we are tied after 7, everybody's a winner.
Depending on your perspective.
That's right. We had one of those games in our small school matchup. There's a swing and a miss, strikeout of 3 up and 3 down for the East in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 4.5. We're tied at 1. You're watching the middle-sized school all-state games on Squirtle. Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Are you looking for a local, reliable propane provider? Earnhardt Oil and Propane has been serving customers throughout Oklahoma since 1971. Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? They also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning in Enid. The East and West are tied at 1. East 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The West, actually, I think I might have had an error. I'm a little different than the scoreboard. Nope. Yeah, there is the 1 error. 1 error for the East squad back in the 1st inning that's not reflected on the scoreboard. As if it matters that much. The most important thing is just the score itself. So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Bledsoe back to the mound for his 2nd inning of work. And he will face Kyle Miller, Cash Barrett, and Tucker Morris. So there's Kyle Miller, who struck out looking back in the 2nd inning, facing Rouse. We'll get his first look at Lane Bledsoe. Lefty's first pitch will miss low, and the count's 1-0. We are in the top of the 5th inning. Take it bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch is high, and the count now 2-0. Tucker Morris slated to bat 3rd of the inning, had a double his last time up. We were talking during the break about need to start thinking about player of the games. Right now, I think it's got to be a pitcher. The pitching has been ahead of the hitting in this one.
They definitely have the head start on them so far.
2-1. Now 3-1. And you look at the way each team scored their runs. I mean, Lane Bledsoe struck out and got on first and came around to score. He did score on an RBI single by Riley Matheson. And there's a leadoff walk here. 3rd walk given up by Bledsoe. And that will bring Cash Barrett to the plate. He bounced out to the shortstop back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Cash Barrett from Sulphur, going to play at East Central and Ada. Go to first base, the runner back. Tucker Morris in the on-deck circle. Took something off that pitch, found the strike zone. The count's 0-1. For me, after a long week at the ballpark, this will be my last ball game here for a while. I may not be back in here for a while, but I could use the break. I will tell you that.
About to say, going to take yourself a well-deserved vacation, huh?
You've got summer baseball here, but I haven't been doing a whole lot with that over the past couple of years. So the JUCO World Series and this is kind of the highlight of my summer. My wife likes it, though, when I'm spending more time at home, so it's a good thing. Counts now
And
1
you know
and
the
2.
old phrase, happy wife, happy life.
Exactly right. And football season is just around the corner.
Earn those brownie points while you can,
That's
huh?
exactly right. You just nailed it. Runner on first, nobody out. Tie ball game. The pitch. Slapped foul right side over onto Grand Avenue. One thing I do know after spending about almost 20 years at the ballpark is don't park your car on Grand Avenue outside the ballpark.
That is a great call.
Runner takes off, got a huge jump, and the hole's open there. The base hit to right. That's a nice piece of hitting. Runner was moving. Lane Bledsoe wasn't even paying attention to him. Got a base hit now. Runner's at the corners with nobody out. And the West has a little something going on here. Tucker Morris doubled back in the second inning. He's 1 for 1, and you know he could put his stamp on a possible player of the game depending on what happened in this plate appearance.
Absolutely. He's already got himself a base hit so far with the double in the second inning. Maybe if he can grab himself another one, drive in a run or two.
Yeah. He would put his name up for consideration. 0-1. Gets away from the catcher, bounces in front of him. The runner will move from first to second, but the runner could not come down the line from third. So the count 1-1. Now a base hit might score 2, which would really help his candidacy for player of the game if he could get a base hit. Cale Whitwiska in the on-deck circle from Bethany. One, two. Bounces it in there. Blocked nicely by the catcher, Springer.
Maybe with an inadvertent assist from the umpire.
2-2 count. These middle-sized schools are all the 3A and 4A schools. Small schools is class B, A, and 2A. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Levi Bledsoe. Or Lane Bledsoe, excuse me. His third strikeout of the ball game. So there's your first out, and here's Cale Whitwiska. Bounce back to the pitcher his first time up. I like those Bethany uniforms right there with the pinstripes.
Got the little splash of purple there. It's good. It's a good look.
It is a good look. Pitch a strike and the count's 0-1. So Bledsoe, he's had to work around some trouble. We'll see if he can do it right here in each of his first 2 innings. Swing and a miss, and now he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Just a big one right here. Joseph Victory in the on-deck circle. He scored their run in the top of the third. West with theirs in the bottom of the fourth. Can the West break it open right here? Slapped foul right side. We stay 0-2. That sun going down. If you look at those outfielders, left field and center field, they're having some trouble with the sun.
Yeah, we saw towards the end of the small school game, there was a ball to left field that caused a few problems for the left fielder out there. It resulted in a run scoring to tie the game. So definitely going to be interesting to see for the next couple innings, see if that might come into play if anyone puts the ball in the air out to that side of the field.
I'm guessing, especially out in left field, it's still pretty swampy out there. We saw a catch yesterday in the final World Series game. Left fielder made the catch and slid about 15 feet across left field to make the catch. Got up, he was soaked from head to toe. Here's the 0-2 pitch, way outside. Here comes the run that will give the West the lead. And that'll make it 2-1. That was the epitome of a wild pitch, way outside. So now 2-1 West, and they've got an impossible insurance run 90 feet away.
As our friend Harry Doyle would say, just a bit outside.
Yep. We've got that on the sound effects bus over there on the announcer side of the press box. I might have had to use it if I was doing that.
Yeah. opportunity presents itself, you got to take advantage.
That's exactly right. As a train rolls by, and I tell you what, railroads and ballparks over the years is quite a tradition, and that's one tradition that really lives here at David Allen Ballpark. Railroad beyond the left center field fence. And they will seem to blow their horns at just the most inopportune time sometimes. At least that train is moving and not blocking traffic on Owen K. Garriott Boulevard, about a block and a half to our south. Nothing riles up the Dinsians of Enid more than trains stopping on Garriott.
Happens on occasion, huh?
Especially in rush hour. So the West on top 2-1. And they are still threatening with just one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The infield's playing up a little bit. They want to cut off that run at the plate. And he strikes out. Boy, big swing and a miss by Wet Wiska. And a big strikeout for Bledsoe. That's his fourth. So now with 2 outs, they could go back to normal depth. And here's Joseph Victory, who struck out looking back in the third inning. He's 0 for 1. And takes the first pitch. Missing outside, ball 1. Victory from Chickasha, head coach Kevin James. One-0 pitch. Low and in, the count goes to 2-0. So Bledsoe has given up now 2 runs on 2 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 3. And now he's behind in the count 3-0 to Victory with a runner on third and 2 outs here on the bottom of the fifth inning, going 7 in this All-Star game, the All-State game, featuring All-Stars from across the state. 0-2 pitch. Ball 3-0 count. I was looking at the wrong thing up there. That's ball 4. So he walks him on 4 pitches. And that is the 4th walk given up by Levi Bledsoe. So now you've got him at the corners. Here's James Folsom. Grounded out to the shortstop back in the third inning. He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, we've Folsom's run into a few problems here in his 2 innings of work. He hasn't given up a single hit, but both runs have come on his ledger after because of walks, hit by pitches, and wild pitches.
So the first pitch is a strike to James Folsom. Count is 0-1 to him. And that'll leave it up at 1 apiece. James Folsom is head coach at Newcastle's Mike Crossley. They got him hung up at first, and they pick him off. Nice play by Bledsoe. Once again, doing whatever he can, because he's been struggling with the control, but he was able to get the third out over at first base in the pickoff. So that will take care of the West in the bottom of the fifth inning. They get a run on 1 hit, no errors, and there end up being 1 left on base. We played 5 complete, 2-1 West. East is coming up when we come back. You're watching the All-State games on Squirtle.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just a local VOTEC. We are Autry Technology Center.
Is your spouse's snoring becoming an issue? Have you been told that you need a sleep study but refuse to go into a sleep lab? Then NextGen Sleep is here to help with our innovative solution for the evaluation, testing, and treatment of sleep apnea. NextGen is proud to offer this FDA-approved, convenient, and affordable solution that can be done all from the comfort of your own home. Call today to get started. 405-308-3324 or email us at information.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. The West now leads the East 2-1 here at David Allen Ballpark in Enid. And we are joined by a fast-rising star in high school sports. And I'm not saying he plays the game, but he watches the game like the rest of us. Hunter Shepard's his name. He's the pride of Porham, Oklahoma, and a huge fan of Porham before you kind of took the next step, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now you have become really legendary in this press box because I tell you what, you get around this state, you've become you're a guru about high school sports, and you're still pretty young. How old are you, about 21 or so?
I am 23.
23. All right, top of the 6th inning. Get a chance to talk to Hunter during this inning. Adam Earnhardt will lead off here in the top of the 6th inning. And we do have a new pitcher, and that is Cooper Church, who's out there for his first inning of work. Cooper Church from Elk City on his way to Swazoo to play at the next level. And he's down on the count now, 2-0. As he is facing Earnhardt. Adam Earnhardt is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. Now, you get around, and something that we have in common from reading about you a little bit is you enjoy the big house about as more than I do. I mean, I love it, and you love it too, going down there for state basketball.
Oh, yes. There's nothing like the big house. You know, it's like state basketball tournament. It's like one of the best times of the year and whatnot. And I've seen some pretty insane moments in there. Personally, my favorite was probably the shot heard around the world in the Millwood Community Christian game last season when they won their 16th title in school history.
Tell me this, how did you acquire so much knowledge about high school sports in Oklahoma?
Well, you know, I guess I just started studying up on all the teams and whatnot. I kind of got into it around my sophomore year of high school. Then my junior and senior year, I started really getting into it and whatnot. But it was right around the 2020-21 season when I would really get out of my comfort zone, because that was whenever I went to the Mustang Holiday Classic for the first time. Big holiday tournament every year. And I guess, you know, things just kind of picked up from there.
So needing something to do to keep yourself occupied during COVID, you decided, heck, high school sports, and sounds like a good thing to get involved with.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, I had always had an interest in the game since my high school and junior high years and whatnot. And I know, like, there was a few things I struggled with during the COVID season, but I managed and whatnot.
Riley Matheson at the plate now. Riley singled and drove in a run back in the 3rd inning as he drove in Lane Bledsoe, and he is hit. And so now 2 on here for the East, trailing 2-1, and back to the top of the order. So not a very auspicious start for Cooper Church. And back to the top, it will be Hunter Stockton, who's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Take it back, he's 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st and struck out looking in the 3rd, so 1 for 2. So when you come to an event like this, what are you looking at? What are you watching?
Well, I know I'm looking at some of like the players to watch too, because I mean, in like an all-state game like this, obviously it's like the best of the best and whatnot. You know, pitching, it's clearly all number 1 arms and whatnot. But I know, like I said, been a tight game, and that's usually what I like about these all-state games. But like I remember someone stated on the All-Star game broadcast at UCO last night, anything can happen in these All-Star games.
And the thing about it, the players can play very relaxed because, you know, it's not like a do or die situation, but they want to show their talent. These pitchers want to show how well they can pitch, and the hitters want to get the hits off of them.
Oh, yes, I do agree with that. And I know, like I said, a lot of these pitchers are going on to play at the next level. Some of them Division I, some JUCO, but no matter the level, it's like I said, we see their full talents on display here in this all-state game.
You came from a small school, and I think you're probably pretty proud of the fact that small schools are developing talent for the major D1 level.
Oh, yes. I know, like, in all sports, I've seen some D1 players come out of some small schools. I know one of the very first times I seen a D1 player out of a small school is whenever Thomas Fay Custer had the offensive lineman that went to O State.
Had a chance to call his game when he played for Thomas at Cashin a couple of years ago.
I do remember that game.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Ooh, off speed and took it for strike 3. I'll tell you what, just couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. So that's the first out of the inning. And Hunter Stockton is now 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. That'll bring up Jack Wilkins. Wilkins got on by way of an error back in the first inning, struck out in the third. He's officially 0 for 2. Jack Wilkins, excuse me. First pitch right to the second baseman, to short for 1 and back to second. Boom, a twin killing, and that will take care of the East team in the top of the 6th inning. 6-4 to 3 on the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stick around with us. 2-1 West over East. You're watching it on Squirtle.
Why be a ranger? At Northwestern, with small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
Electricity. That's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments. We are proud to be part of your community. Thank you for being part of Cimarron for all of these years.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually.
James Folsom was at the plate when the last inning ended, so he'll start off the bottom of the 6th inning here. Tom Nelson joined by Hunter Shepard. And Hunter makes the trip up to Enid to watch this event. And you've been on the road a lot this weekend. There's a drive to left field. That might not be coming back. That's going to carry him off the bricks in left field. Thought it might clear the fence. It's a stand-up double to lead off the inning for James Folsom. And so the West already up 2-1, looking to add some insurance back to the top of the order. Take it back. We might have, nope, back to the top. It's Mayen, Preston Mayen. Wanted to make sure before, because Conover batted last time around when he was pitching. Now Jackson Lee's going to bat now. They'll let Jackson Lee get his first plate appearance here. Like we said, the lineups are in flux. They're fluid here for these All-Star games. So Jackson Lee at the plate for the first time tonight. Big old curveball in there for a strike. What's next for you? We're in the off season, so to speak. What are you doing?
Well, I know I'll probably rest a few days, find somewhere to stay this week, and then I will have the fast pitch All-State game at Oklahoma Christian in Edmond on Saturday. And then I'll have the slow pitch All-State game at the same place next Saturday after that. And then it's going to kind of be quiet until OCA All-State week in July.
Outmade at first base, put out 3 unassisted. Runner moves over to third. So now runner on third and 1 out, back to the top of the order. Here's Mayen. Nope, here's Alex. They're going to let Conover bat now. Once again, don't assume. So Conover will be at the plate. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. And the pitch rides outside, ball 1. I think after this, we'll go back to the top of the order. Yes, Preston Mayen is in the on-deck circle. Yeah, my score sheet will not be a work of art when this one is done. It never is with this all-star game. It rides outside 2-0. So I know that you got your start really covering your own school and then branched out to the schools in your area before you really began to go statewide. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I know, like I said, the Mustang Holiday Classic in the 2020-2021 season was probably my big upstart.
And I also understand you have a GoFundMe?
Yeah, I do. I usually create a different one throughout and whatnot. I know the one I've had up, I've actually had it up for a while now.
Because you got to travel around the state. You're looking for some help. There's one to the gap in left field. That'll score a run. Extra bases for Conover. Now double and an RBI for Alex Conover. And we talk about the player of the game. We talked about how it might be a pitcher. Well, now Conover's got a double and has driven in a run to go with his 5 strikeouts and given up 1 hit in 3 innings. So the double. And now Preston Mayen at the top of the order, doubled back in the 1st inning to lead off the ball game, the bottom of the inning, and then struck out in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. It's now 3-1 West. 3 runs on 8 hits. Actually, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the West, 1-4-0 for the East. Glance back to the runner at second. And pitch from Carson Kelly is popped up high on the infield. Second baseman makes the play over there. That's Adam Earnhardt. And that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Cooper Smith is up there now. Well, I guess that we've had 1 West win and 1 tie. The West is trying to get kind of almost the sweep, get 2 wins and a tie in this one. And there is some, I know the West, there's a little bit of a bragging rights they're trying to get put together and get 2 wins today. I bet you're an East guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the East, but I feel like I live out West as much as I come out to OKC and whatnot, to the 405.
So how was the basketball all-star games last night? There was a shot to center field. Did he make that catch? I believe he did. Yes, he did. I'll ask you this before we go to a break. I'll let you go. But how were the basketball games last night? Tell me about your first impressions.
Oh, they were pretty good. I know. I believe the small East and West game was a close one, like 76-74. It was a high-scoring one. And then Middle West beat Middle East 55-53. But in the final game, Large East dominated Large West like 79-55.
Well, we appreciate your time, and we love what you're doing for high school sports, and keep doing it.
Hey, I appreciate it.
You bet. Hunter Shepard. We'll take a break. It's 3-1 West over the East. 7th inning is coming up. You're watching it on Squirtle.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
First BG10 Flow Fest featuring recording artist Kylie Morgan, Jay Allen, and special guest Cam Allen. Saturday, June 24th at Rustic Rose Barn. Tickets on sale now at ticketstore.com. BG10 Flow Fest 2023 with Kylie Morgan and Jay Allen. Concert benefits Cashian's own the BG10 Legend Foundation.
Well, Jax Ryan from Verdigris will lead off here in the top of the 7th inning. East finds themselves down 3-1. They've got to score 2 here to not get the loss, basically. No matter what happens, the West is going to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning because it's all about giving the kids the experience, the chance to play. But Jax Ryan is 0 for 2. He popped out to second in the 1st inning and flied out to right in the 4th. And the count evens up. Cooper Church is on the mound for the West from Elk City. Going to play at Southwestern just down the road from Elk City in Weatherford. And the count down 2-1. There's a base hit up the middle. So that's a good start for the East. And Ryan has his first base hit of the evening. Here's Colin Ritchie. Colin Ritchie struck out in the 1st inning, singled, and stole a base in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. And the pitch from Cooper Church. Low and in, ball 1. Cooper Church, the 3rd of 3 pitchers used by the West. Alex Conover started. Jackson Lee pitched 3, and now Cooper Church with the last 2, taken for a strike. Count even at 1 apiece. Here in the top of the 7th inning, the East needs 2 to tie. Bouncer just foul right side. Countdown 1-2. Zach Friesen back in here with us. Got a bit of a break there as we talked to Hunter, but like I said, we've had 9 runs scored in the first game, 6 in the second game, and 4 in this one. Pitchers have got it done in this long day of baseball, which is good because that makes the games move along pretty quick.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When you get towards the end of the game, towards the end of the day, you definitely appreciate that. But yeah, they've definitely come into play in this game for sure.
Colin Ritchie from Atoka. Trevor Cook is head coach. And the 1-2 pitch just misses 2-2. Talked about the fact that Colin is on his way to play for the Cowboys over in Stillwater. 2-2. Go full 3-2. Might make it interesting here in the top of the 7th inning. Weston Rouse will bat next. Weston was our starting pitcher. He's now at first base. He made that last play to end the last inning, put out 3 unassisted, and now a walk, and now first and second. So Rouse 0 for 2. Hit into a fielder's choice back in the 1st inning, grounded out to second in the 4th. Before he moves on to Stillwater, he's got one more high school at bat in him. 72 on the gun. The pitch just misses. The count 1-0. Yeah, I'll tell you what, these pitchers, they look at these. Everybody can hit. Everybody in this game can hit.
Yeah, there's no weak links in this lineup.
Runners on first and second, nobody out. East could have a big inning brewing here. Counts 2-0. And it will be Cooper Church's job to get out of this.
Yeah, we saw him kind of struggle with the control a little bit in his 1st inning of work. He walked a batter and hit another batter, but then he was able to pull it together and get a strikeout and a double play. So West has to hope that he can get it all together once again so that he can close this one out. Otherwise, that token round of at-bats in the bottom half might be a little bit more than token.
Exactly right. We could be looking at that situation. One well-placed hit, we could be in that situation. So the 2-0 pitch is on the way. Now 3-0. Cooper Church is in danger of walking the bases loaded. With nobody out top of the 7th, his team up 3-1. Taken for a strike, 3-1. Gannon Sherrill in the on-deck circle. Three-one pitch. Ooh, ball 4. Load him up. So Sherrill is 0 for 2. He grounded out to short in the second inning. Bounced out to second in the fourth.
He's got a chance to make this game a lot more interesting. He also had the diving catch to end the last inning just to keep this at a 2-run lead.
Gannon Sherrill from Fort Gibson. Plays for his dad, Jim Sherrill, down there. Pitch in there for a strike. And the count 0-1. Gannon Sherrill on his way to play his college ball in Wilburton at Eastern. 0-1 pitch. There's a liner to the second baseman. They're going to get 2. They double the runner off second. And just like that, bang, bang, 2 outs. Changes the entire complexion of the game. So it was Colin Ritchie who was caught off over there. So 2 outs now. Cy Collins is up. He's 0 for 2. Struck out in the second inning. Lined out to the second baseman in the 5th. Runners at the corners. Now 2 outs. The first pitch a strike to him. And Cooper Church is looking to get out of this now.
And it's the second straight inning where he's got the benefit of a well-timed double play.
He's in a much better situation right now than he was 3 pitches ago. Count even 1 apiece.
Because now, even if he does give up a base hit, unless it's to one of the alleys, it's probably just going to score 1 run. It would take one really well placed in order to score Rouse from first.
Fouled back and out of play. The count goes to 1-2. The East scored their run in the top of the third, took a 1-0 lead, and then the West have scored single runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and lead 3-1. Here's the 1-2. Took something off of that one, struck him out looking, and that is how the game will unofficially end. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th inning and let the West bat, but the West has won this ball game 3-1. In the top of the 7th inning for the East, no runs, a hit, 2 walks, and 2 left on base. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's just to give the kids a chance to play a little more. 3-1 West. You're watching it on Squirtle.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture.
Bottom of the 7th inning for the West. They've already won this ball game 3-1, but they will bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And leading off is Camden Bates from Washington. And the first pitch to him from Carson Kelly is taken for a ball. The count's 1-0. Been a good ball game. Been a fun night. Been a fun day. I just joined the fun here at the beginning of this ball game. But 3 good games for you today. These players are all all-stars, all all-staters. Count is 2-0. It's Camden Bates, Ashton Benight, and Kane Springer. They're in the bottom of 7. West has already won this game 3-1. The OBCA, the Oklahoma Baseball Coaches Association. It's been a great weekend. They had a banquet here last night. Taken for a strike now, 2-1. Camden Bates lined out to the shortstop in the first inning, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. So he's 0 for 1. 3-0 delivery, and he'll take ball 4. Guarantee in this situation, he was looking for something to hit, but he didn't get anything to hit. So here's Ashton Benight, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And this is where, for a player like Ashton Benight, who is 0 for 2 and has struck out twice, he can use this extra bat to make some memories here, a little better memories.
Yes, absolutely. He got a chance to end the game on a little bit better note.
Exactly right. That's a strike, and the count is 0-1 to Benight. Benight from Tuttle, state champion, going to Cali. Yeah, he's had a pretty good summer, a pretty good spring already, winning that state championship. There's his base hit.
There we go.
Drives one to center field. And he'll dig for 2, and he will be thrown out.
Got a little greedy.
Still a base hit. So a base hit, and then he is out at second. 8-4 on the putout. 1 down. The runner moved from first to third. So Bates is at third. Here's Kane Springer. Springer's 0 for 1. He walked in the 4th inning. Stick around after the ball game. We'll do a quick recap and tell you who our player of the game is. I'll give you a bit of a hint. It's somebody who has done it on both sides. On the mound and at the plate. Might have given it away. 1-0.
Just making sure they're paying attention.
That's right. Countdown 2-0. Delivery. Strike on the outer half, 2-1, 79 in the gun. Now, you've been around this ballpark for a long time. The one thing I'm still not used to, this is year 2, is the speed pitch is over here, far right side. It used to be on the scoreboard. I never look for it anymore. Here comes a run coming in from third on the pass ball.
Yes, same here. I'm always used to looking out at the scoreboard to see it.
So that will make it 4-1. The count is 3-1 to Kane Springer. The rock in the fire on the pitch from Kelly. And there's a shot to left field. Is that going to be out to the wall and caught on the track? Wow. Colin Ritchie makes the catch out there. A step in front of the wall, 2 down.
Thought off the bat that one was going to make it. Thought we were going to have a little fireworks in the night, but not so much.
Here's Kyle Miller. Miller from Lone Grove. Walked and scored back in the 5th, struck out looking in the 2nd. Low and outside ball 1. We are basically possibly one batter away from putting a wrap on this great day of baseball. Great day of baseball on Scortle and also the Sports Animals platform. Been glad to bring it to you on that as well. More of that coming. 1-0. Right through there for a strike, and the count evens at 1 apiece. Kelly's pitch. Steve Reich on the outer half. We're 1 strike away. West is going to win the game. They will win 2 of the 3 games, and the other one was a tie. Large school, the West won. Small school was a 3-3 tie. Just outside the count, even 2 apiece. So 2-2 the count. The Rock and the Fire. We go full 3-2. West broken this one open. 4 runs, single tallies in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th after the East led 1-0. Check swing went around. That's your ball game. It's a win for the West, 4-1. And our All-State Sunday has come to an end. In the bottom of the 7th inning, no runs, a hit. Actually, there was 1 run, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 4-1 the final. We'll take a break and put the wrap on this one, name our player of the game when we come back. You're watching the All-State Games on Squirtle.
When your business is agriculture, you want a bank behind you that doesn't cut and run at the first sign that there will be some tough times ahead. There are good years and there are always bad years. At Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, we're here for them all. Agriculture, it's the backbone of our local community. We believe in it. We invest in it. We're here for the long haul. If you're in agriculture, it's time to let Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma make your best even better. Contact a loan officer today. Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, the area's leading lender in agriculture.
This is game time.
Well, the West will take bragging rights in the 2023 All-State Baseball Games, brought to you by the Oklahoma Baseball Coaches Association. Our Middle West game is in the books. The West beats the East 4-1. 4 runs on 7 hits and an error for the West. 1 run, 5 hits and no errors for the East. Winning pitcher is Alex Conover. He went 3 innings, gave up 1 run. It wasn't earned. Gave up just the 1 hit, struck out 7. And he will also be our player of the game because on top of going on the mound, 7 strikeouts and picking up the win and all that, he also batted at the plate. He was 1 for 2 with a double, and he drove in a run there as well. So congratulations, Alex Conover from Tuttle. He is our player of the game in the middle-sized schools All-State game. It's been a fun day, and we're so glad you could make us a part of your day here watching the All-State games. First game of the day, the big schools, the West beat the East 6-3. The small schools, the East and West tied at 3-all. And then the Middle West knocks off the Middle East 4-1 in our 3rd game of the day. Thank the Squirtle crew for being here all day long, including Todd Miller, who sat here and did the first 2 ball games, Zach Friesen on the color, as well as our guests who stopped in throughout the day. We much appreciate that. We look forward to doing this again sometime real soon. Once again, final score, your final game here. Middle schools, the win goes to the West, 4-1 over the East. For the whole Squirtle crew, I'm Tom Nelson. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you on down the road. Thanks for watching us on Squirtle and the Sports Animal WWLS platform.